me, no one seemed to know how much private E1 made for salary. I mean, you know, they're not very far above poverty. I mean, those things really bothered me. I mean, the social aspects of it really bothered me. You know, I just couldn't grasp that people didn't seem to weren't grasping what's going on in terms of the war in Iraq or Afghanistan. Not going on whether we should be there or not, but just that it's going on at all, and things aren't going on. And then, things to do with veterans and active military in terms of pay scale and divorce rates and suicide. I mean, that stuff really weighed on me very heavy. I mean, I don't know, I kind of felt like I was trying to explain it to people every conversation I had. Trying to tell to everybody that asked.
So with this perspective, did you seek out others with the same perspective, others that had served, perhaps for the same comfort?
I did, but not. I mean, not with any. Not aggressively. I mean, people that I had served with. I mean, that's easy. Those are old friends. But a general VFW, or I tried to VFW, but it seemed there was a much older crowd, and so I didn't feel like I quite fit, and then it could have been particular to the VFW I went to. So no, I didn't seek them out. But my job was different then. I was working construction, and so it's not really a social job.
Right. What did your unit experience problems with post-traumatic stress disorder?
Yeah, they did. Throughout the course of the deployment, I remember when the first soldier said that he had it, and it was kind of like a group. Oh man, he's trying to get out of here.
So
certainly
was it a matter of
receptive to him.
disbelief?
It was disbelief, but responsive to it in terms of nobody said you're fake and get back out there. They certainly stopped him from missions and went to counseling and addressed it that way. But I think, everyone said, at first you think that person's faking, and then you realize that people are, kind of more people that it's happening to. Another squad leader, our platoon sergeant, was one of the reasons he left our platoon. Different guys in different places that I think people didn't expect to have problems with it did. And so it was it always seemed like a balancing act for people to decide whether, they're faking it or not. I mean, is he BSing, or does he really have it, or is he trying to go home and he's sick of Iraq because he's sick of Iraq?
Well, after the return to civilian life, did you notice that? Did you keep in touch with your unit? I mean, would you have picked up on it, and would you have been able to, help them, refer them to community groups, support groups?
Yeah, we got home. When you first get back, they have like this week where you go to work every day, like Monday through Friday, but you just basically go to this stations around kind of like a conference center or something like that. Maybe two different buildings in which there's tables set up. Maybe a room, usually a table, and it was like hearing, eyesight, and then like the mental health table. And it was
like physical evaluation.
Yeah, physical evaluation. But it was like, you got problems sleeping, okay, go to this line. You got bad dreams, go to this line. By the end of it, you have like a prescription for Ambien and Wellbutrin, and you're just, some of that certainly went on. I know my unit had DUIs, and it was seemed to be standard problems. But to relate them to PTSD, I don't know. I left shortly thereafter, so I didn't stay in the unit much longer.
How would you rate the responsiveness of the VA to these particular problems the soldiers experienced?
Well, my experience with the VA is what other veterans tell me. And not all of it's, bad. Not all of it's good. I have a sense that once you get the paperwork correct, once you get everything lined up, it's fine. That seems easy. We'll just do it. Well, it's very difficult to get your records, to make sure everything's signed 5 times and it's all in a row. And once you do it, it seems to be pretty good. My personal experience, I didn't have any.
You've not had to contact the VA?
I have not. I mean, I was referred for PTSD, and they said, for counseling, and I didn't. I didn't feel comfortable doing it, and so I didn't. But it's not that I wrestle with it every day. I just didn't. I didn't feel comfortable doing it, so I don't have any interaction with them.
How did your employment impact your views on the global war on terror? Did they drastically change? Did they remain the same?
My employment?
Your deployment.
Oh, my deployment.
Well, let's begin with what were your views going into deployment, and then afterwards, how had they changed?
Yeah. I think going in, my specific to Iraq was, regardless of how we got there, or why, the lead up, we're there. So what are you going to do? Fix it. And I felt that when I was there. We were there. What are we going to do? Fix it. I was struck by just the size and the scope of what we were doing. I mean, when you hear the numbers, so that really struck me. I remember being on the lobby, just seeing 24/7, non-stop vehicles. I mean, not one, just
convoy,
volumes of vehicles of all kinds. And that struck me. Then you really got the idea of what it takes. But specific to the global war on terror, I just realized what a real messy job it is that they're trying to do, rebuilding and knock down and rebuild and knock down and rebuild. So I got a sense of the limitations. What I felt to be the limits of power. How you can really stretch your power in places, because it's very difficult.
Did you get a sense of progress throughout your deployment?
I did, because we built combat outposts in areas that you wouldn't go in, and then once they were built and they ran security through the area, they did have success in there. We cleared a road and put a float bridge in, and they were able to get things to the harvest, back to the city of Bakuba. So I had a sense of accomplishment there, but mine was, I had a beginning and an end, where I started a construction project and I finished a construction project. Whereas if you're trying to stem the violence or something that doesn't have a beginning and end, I could see tangible progress. In terms of Iraq, I felt like I could see some, but for me personally, I thought we did.
And has that changed once you've been back to civilian life for a while? Have your views changed on that at all?
No, I don't think that it has. I mean, about the entire
the global war on terror.
Yeah. No, I don't think that it has. I mean, my view on it is that I'm not sure about it, and I get the overwhelming sense that if you filled the room with 100 experts, you could draw a line at 50-50 that says what we're supposed to do, and anybody who definitively knows, probably doesn't. And so I still feel that way. I mean, should we be here? Should we be there? Now, I'm not sure. I went into it thinking that educated people are making thoughtful and the best decisions through the evidence